Breach impacting more than 2,000 patients who took part in sleep studies at the Women's and Children's Hospital. Third-party company Compumedics has been dealing with a ransomware attack for the past month. SA Health Chief Dr Robin Lawrence says they're in the process of notifying those affected.
It's incredibly disappointing that a third-party provider's security systems were not sufficient to protect our patients' data from outside access. We will today be contacting all of those patients and families to let them know that their data has been compromised and who they can call to get further information.
2 men are in hospital after a clan lab exploded and started a fire on Raynell Road at Happy Valley last night. The 23-year-old Happy Valley man and 21-year-old from Edwardstown have suffered serious burns to their hands. Detectives found equipment used to extract cannabis oil, as well as 3 kilos of loose cannabis, and equipment used to make vape pens. Investigations are ongoing. The Coalition says its promised $90 million domestic violence package will help frontline services operate more efficiently. The election pledge includes more support for early intervention programs. The opposition would also set up a national register of domestic violence perpetrators. Liberal leader Peter Dutton says the changes will make a big difference.
We heard from one of the services this morning about the need to interact with 19 different funding streams coming in predominantly from the Commonwealth. And so how do we work together to identify ways in which we can provide more efficiency in that money flowing?
Well, the government says it's already made progress on those policies already. And the Melbourne Cup has suffered a major setback. One of its biggest sponsors has walked away. Penfolds is pulling the pin on its multi-million-dollar contract, no longer the official winery of the Carnival or its naming rights to the Victoria Derby. It's also abandoning its marquee in the birdcage. Turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Terrain-Tamer parabolic leaf springs for a comfortable ride in your four-wheel drive. Terrain-Tamer.com.
Crows vice-captain Darcy Fogarty has been ruled out of the game against Fremantle with a shoulder sprain. Coach Matthew Nicks says it means they'll have to alter their forward structure for the Anzac Day clash, with Dan Curtin more of a target.
We're asking a young kid now to step up and play a slightly different role, more of a target. He's played that role, but probably not as much as we would like to see this weekend. It'll be a good challenge for him because he's a big kid, enjoys the contest, so he'll sort of slot into a role that Darcy's been playing for us, and it's an important one.
Josh Rochelle, who's missed the past 3 matches with broken ribs, could also return. He's travelled to Perth and will train this afternoon, where a final decision will be made on his availability. And defender Kane Farrell's preparing to play his 100th AFL game when Port take on North Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval on Saturday.
It's obviously big accomplishment for myself and then also family with what they put in through junior footy and that. So something I'll definitely look back on post-footy as well, but this week we'll definitely celebrate it as a family as well.
And a boost for the Sydney Swans with Chad Warner re-signing for another 2 seasons. The young midfielders knocked back offers from Fremantle and West Coast to go home to WA. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon at Newton. Look out for a burst water main. Really slow going at the moment too. Gorge Road near Silks Road. Hope Valley got civil works getting fixed there at the moment. That's also pretty slow. Lower North East Road near Awonga Road. And got some works to look out for at Penfield, Wommer Road near Heathslip Road. Smosh at Mansfield Park is sluggish too. That's on Grand Junction Road near Wingfield Road with the camera at George Street at Norwood. Hurry into Dan Murphy's for low prices this long weekend. Johnny Walker Double Black Blended Scotch Whisky 1 litre. $79 for members. Ends Sunday. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly sunny and 26 today, cloudy tomorrow, also 26, partly cloudy Saturday down to 23 and cloudy for Sunday 22. Right now it's 25. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Tom Wren. Tonight, former opposition leader David Spears admits his deepfake lie as he's convicted and fined for supplying cocaine. The 8-hour queue to farewell the Pope. At 6, we're live to the Vatican. Also, the surprising intriguing link between blood pressure and dementia, and the Crows fly to Perth without a big-name star. 9 News, your news. Nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey,
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
8 minutes after 4 on this Thursday, on the eve of Australia's most special day. We're on the eve of Anzac Day, and we round out a short week and enter a weekend of honour and commemoration, in which sport does play a major role in bringing us fellow Aussies together. Sam Tugwell, Rowey and Timmy G, good afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. I think it's an evening where everybody gets ready, prepared for a dawn service around the state, to get to all the memorials, the RSLs, the communities that arranged them. Thank you to all of those people involved. And after those ceremonies, you share a quiet moment with friends and family just to thank those men and women that served and are serving, and the ones that fell in the line of duty. So thank you to all of those, and we look forward to celebrating and commemorating those people tomorrow. SRO, welcome.
Oh, beautifully said. And most of them are volunteers from those RSLs.
Correct.
And those that can't go, try and watch on telly. And even if you can't do that, just pay a thought for those that gave the ultimate price. And their sacrifice of their life for us in our life. I was just going to say, it's 80 years. I said this to Stacey earlier. It's 80 years since the end of World War II. This is the 80th year of that. And I said to her, 61 million Allied soldiers and civilians died. Now, that's a rough estimate. Maybe think about that. That is massive. And it was on the back of the war, which is World War I, that was dubbed the war to end all wars.
Yeah.
And then we sit here today with worrying times thinking, wow, have we learnt anything?
Let's
hope we have.
Yeah, we learnt one thing, and that is war, what is it good for? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
That was a good song.
It's a great song, and it's well said, because I remember going to, I told you 3 years ago, I went to the Somme and walked around, and Villa Brittany, that school that honours the Australians every year. It's the most amazing town.
And Menin Gates and IPA, which is what inspired me to learn to play the bugle.
You're learning well.
Very slowly,
as I turned around across the road from the school, is an incredible mural drawn where they have these kangaroos protecting the children. It's just amazing.
It's amazing.
It's incredible. So if anybody gets the opportunity to do that, it can be very solemn at times. Reading some of the pieces written by people who were in that war, there was a guy who lived to 101, and he wrote this piece around the Somme, and he said, you know, what a senseless waste of life, and he said, and what was it all over? A bloody family row. That's what it was over. A bloody family row. Senseless waste of life. And when you read that, and he fought right there at that spot and was lucky to survive, he comes back and visits his brother every year in that spot. It's incredible. Amazing stories.
Well, there's still Australians buried in the fields of Flanders, in the Somme, in the battlefields. And if you do it too, you can stand actually in the trenches. It is as moving a thing as you'll ever do. But anyway, our thoughts with everyone.
I know.
It's
just amazing.
Well,
we look forward to that because it's a great day. It's a great morning to commemorate, and everybody should get down and do a dawn service. There's news on the Crows front and Port front, but it's all Matty Nix, and what I thought I'd ask Matty Nix these questions. Hey, Matty, is fog out?
We thought he might be a chance, being a country boy and pretty tough young man, but SC joints, they're quite painful, and it might take a week or two. We'll just have to keep an eye on how it recovers.
Okay, so...
Well, a couple of things from that. So Darcy's not tough. Well, Campo sat there and said, I played with him.
Interesting.
And the other thing is
he's a country kid, so he's tough. So what city kids are?
I thought the same.
He's a bit harsh on us.
Last I looked, Macca was a city kid.
Yeah, he's a tough one. Yeah. It's a throwaway line, though, isn't it?
I know it is.
Yeah, so...
But that's a big out.
It is a big out.
That's a big out.
And it's not one that you want, because you love that forward line functioning the way it does together. So what I then asked was, Mr. Nix, who will be his replacement?
Yeah, our plan is to go in with a similar forward line. Dan sort of asking a young kid now to step up and play a slightly different role, more of a target. He's played that role, but probably not as much as we would like to see this weekend. It'll be a good challenge for him because he's a big kid, enjoys the contest, so he'll sort of slot into a role that Darcy's been playing for us, and it's an important one.
You confident he can do that? Because I think he can. He hasn't had the opportunity really with the other three being there.
That's it. He said it's a good challenge. I'd say it's a great opportunity. And I'm sure he does that behind closed doors. Dan, it's your home state. Your entire family's there. You're going to be one of the three-headed Ford monsters. Your role is Darcy's, which is what you're naturally born to do. Mate, just let it all hang out.
Take it. Fly
for your marks, hit the contest, bring it forward, all those easy things. I am so excited to see how he takes this with two hands. And I'm hopefully can, to be honest.
And his family will be there.
Well, that'll help him.
He's a WA boy.
He is, that's it. That's it. So it's an opportunity and one I think he'll relish.
Oh, good stuff. Well done. And best of luck to him. And then I asked Mr. Nix, what about Josh Rochelle? Will he return?
He's feeling fantastic. We'll do a light run today and he'll do a little bit more just to get moving, make sure he's okay. He'll probably run into a couple of bags, but he's really confident. I'm really confident in him as well, and that'll be a decision we'll make together.
I am that impressed that you went to the airport for this presser.
That's what I did. That's what I do.
See, you are.
You were everywhere.
You're a professional. Yeah. Well, okay, let's do this. So Fogarty's out. Dan Curtin assumes his role, but there's one spot. Josh Rochelle will come in and Peatling will come in.
So you will play Josh?
I'm playing them both. Oh, okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. His start of the season, they both come in. So I think Peatling's in for Berry. Obviously, Josh Rochelle for Fog, not for a 1-for-1, which leaves Zach Taylor in the team or Sid Draper in the team to be the sub.
Right, one of those.
I think that's how it'll land.
Okay. All right.
And if it's me, I hope it's Zach Taylor. I hope they just keep backing in Sid Draper. Unless he's stuffed, unless he can't run, unless he's banged up or he's got corkies. I mean, they subbed him last week, which is good. So he didn't play a full game in heavy conditions. Fast deck, going to be beautiful weather. Play the kid.
They've never seen heavy conditions.
Yeah. That is true.
5:50 tonight, we find that out.
Yeah, we do. Team selection.
That'll drop along with
that's
the
what
Port side as well. So, Port unfortunately had some pretty bad news. Tom Cochrane, the young fellow who's come in and done a couple of nice things and the like, he's got a stress fracture in his foot. So they're saying it could be up to 3 months, unfortunately, to get that right. So it's a bit of it's a real setback for him because he loves playing the game, and the more footy you play, the more you learn and the like. So he'll be out for some time, and that's a bit of a bummer.
There's only one positive. He belongs at that level.
Yeah, you can see.
He can safely do his recovery and go, you know what?
Yep.
And when he goes to Dad can say, mate, you're at the level.
Yep.
It's nice to know you're at the level.
Yes.
That young
he's
kid's
been
at
able
the
to
level.
prove that, which is great. So I would presume Joe Richards will just... He pulled out ill last week. Couldn't actually travel over. So he's over that virus and he'll be able to come back into the side. I think a bit of a 1-for-1 there. And Atkins, who was the emergency... may just well keep his spot as well. So we'll see how that lines up as well. Kenny was talking about, because it's easy to come back and say, oh, North Melbourne have been belted the last couple of weeks. You know, you'll have a nice, easy win. But he said, no, you don't take them easy.
No one's as bad as, a recent run of form in the AFL, and I think we all forget it too quickly. They've played some really solid football. They push good sides for large periods of the game, and we know exactly the same, that when it gets a bit hard and people want to write you off, there's a good way to return serve, and that is to get up and play your best footy, and I don't expect anything more than an Alistair Clarkson coach team to come full of fire and ready to go.
Yeah, and you've got to be ready like that, I think. If you're thinking you're going in for an easy game, the minute you hesitate, you get a slow start, then you're in an arm wrestle, and you just don't want that. You've got to get right on top early and just keep the doubt inside the opposition's head. So the other one was will Rowey play halfback flank? And
it's been pretty good, and it seems to have given us a little bit of balance with some of the changes we've made. We would expect he'll play at halfback again this week at the start, but we will use him where we need to use him. He's our captain, and we put him where we need him.
So he's playing halfback.
Yeah, bit disappointed when at this presser. We can't be in two places at the same time.
Well, and that's what happened.
That's exactly. So
trapped.
You picked the Crows one over the Port
because
one.
I knew I'd know the answers. I knew those answers already. So.
Well, we got Goldie on. I'm going to put it to Goldie.
Yeah.
So we've got him on.
Who got him to half back?
Who got Rowey to half back?
That's a good call.
There you go.
Either way, it's working well. It's working well for him, the team. So we'll keep that one rolling. Very, very happy with that. Now, phone topic today. And
I like phone
$50 PALS voucher on the line, 8223 0000. I want to preface this by saying in no way should sport ever be compared to the field of battle, ever. Okay, so that clearing that right off the plate. But when we come around to Anzac round, we like to play in the spirit for the Anzacs. So we want to show courage, mateship and team. And that's what you want to do, because you have to operate like that in battle. So I'm asking the question, who's the most courageous player you ever played with or saw?
Okay.
Any level, any time, anywhere, let us know who it is. Now, for me, I played with two and it was hard to separate them. The first one was a Western Australian player, Steve Curtis. Used to wear the bike helmet.
Yes.
It was incredibly courageous. Still, I remember seeing him play when he was over 50 years of age in the Masters, and he was still going in the same way.
Oh, come on,
and I said, Curto, what are you doing? He said, it's the only way I know how to get a kick.
He is a mug plumber.
He was. He was a plumber. He still is. Great bloke. Courageous player. But the one I chose was Martin Leslie. And the reason I talk about Marty is I remember when Greg Phillips was over in Melbourne, and I hadn't played with Greg. Yeah. And Martin Leslie would back into packs and get absolutely smashed. He'd take the ball still because he's that courageous, but he'd get hammered and he'd get back up. And during the week, I'd see him with injuries that you think, he can't play. No. And he would get up. He'd find a way, get up and play, and then he'd go and do the same thing. And then Greg Phillips came back, and Jack takes over in 88. Greg goes to centre half back. Marty goes to half. How's this for a half back flank? Abernathy, Phillips, Leslie.
Stop it.
Ooh. And the ball would come in, and Martin would be doing the same thing, back and back with his courage and all the rest of it. He's taken the mark, and he's fallen over, and he can see that where is everybody? Smashing me and all the rest of it. Bloke called Greg Phillips just holding them all back. But Marty was incredibly courageous, inspirational to play with, and I know it inspired me sometimes when I was hurt or injured, and you think, will I come up? Will I come up? I always thought of him, and I thought he came up all the time.
He did.
So I've got to do it.
Getting up.
It was an incredible player.
He had a pretty good left jab and right hook too. Just asked.
Good box.
Look, it was so easy for me to say Macca, and he was time and time again.
Yes.
And another bloke who I love, Chris McDermott, Bone, most courageous. Talk about play with injuries.
He actually
both those guys
pain.
did. But my selection's this. It's former Glenelg, Hawthorn and Crows. I played with and state star Tony Hall. Did his knee probably at the height of his powers.
Middle of the 89 State of Origin game.
His recovery, his professionalism, and his toughness and his rehab is still legendary to this day. The numbers that he did on the King Com and all these tests that he did, the way he tested his body, the way he pushed his body, the way he pushed through pain, how he could play with pain. Off-field, I've never seen a harder, more diligent, professional, courageous man, and a beautiful fella at that. On-field, I remember this game vividly, and I don't remember a lot of incidences, but my teammate was Paul McCormack, and you know about Macca.
I do.
Tony Hall was coming at a 50-50 ball, and he knew McCormack was going to run him up the middle. And I've never seen a bloke. I've seen blokes take little steps, protect themselves, going sideways. No, he sped up, and he knew he copped what coming. And the noise, I can still close my eyes and hear it. And the, you know that when you,
everything's out of you.
He's gotten up, free kick. It was high. Sounded like a sick pig.
He's actually still lucky to be with us. Paul McCormack, if he played today...
Oh, he would never play. He's a choppy picker.
87 weeks.
But mine's Tony Hall. A lot of people may be surprised with that. Those that know him won't be. An absolutely courageous man on and off the field.
Give us a call.
8223 0000 is the number. It is 21 minutes after 4. Loaded show tonight, so there's lots to get through. We have team selection, of course, at 5:50 for both the Crows and Power. We'll speak to both the clubs. Murray Davis from Adelaide ahead of tomorrow's game, and Tyson Goldsack ahead of Saturday against the Roos. Brian Taylor will give us some build-up to the Anzac Day game tomorrow at the MCG, and Terry McAuliffe as well will give us some tips for the weekend too. Your calls next though, 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Catch the 5AA Fishing Show, presented by Ned McHenry, Tuesday nights from 6:30. See the full Yamaha Marine range at Yamaha Pitmans, Coast Road Motors, South Coast Marine and Christie's Beach Marine.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. I'm in the solar and battery industry. Obviously, a lot of the bulk sale companies will preference the cheapest materials they can get their hands on. The materials we use have been around for a long time. They're very reputable companies. They all have offices in Australia, so you know you have that extra level of support. At BJ Energy, we don't have a room full of slick salespeople. We're a small, passionate South Australian team, and we're all about delivering the best outcome for you. So get in touch with us at bjenergy.com.au.
Wherever you are and whatever you need, the caring collective of women at White Lady Funerals can help you create a meaningful and beautiful send-off. White Lady Funerals. Let our strength help you find yours.
Now listen to this. This is pretty cool. Just minutes from the Adelaide Oval, Empire Bar and Pool is the perfect pit stop for before or after the footy. So whether you're rolling in with your mates in high spirits post a win or maybe looking to blow off some steam after a close loss, Empire's central spot makes it easy to detour for footy fans heading to or from the game.
How's this? Empire Bar and Pool it boasts 12 pub-size 8-ball tables, 16 American 9-ball beasts, the 2 elite Chinese snooker tables. They've got private areas for hire. There's catering options. There's a booth. There's seating. You can turn a casual catch-up into something quite flash. You can order what you want, do what you want. I'll have that cocktail. Can you come back here in 5 minutes and I'm going to do
I'll tell you what, whatever you've done before or after the game, you will forget it all at the Empire Bar and Pool. It's in the basement of 2 Gresham Street City, just off North Terrace there, and it's open 7 days a week.
Steinborner has done it again. The Jack T9 Ute has landed at Jack Motors in Gawler. Enjoy a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, 7-year unlimited K warranty, 7-year roadside assist and 7-year capped price servicing. The Jack T9 impresses with a turbocharged diesel engine, 4x4 dual range transmission, 3-tonne towing capacity and can easily handle a full-size Aussie pallet with 1,045 kilo payload. All this from 45,980 drive away. Jack Motors, it's well worth the trip. Gawler, Barossa and Clare or at gawlerjackmotors.com.au.
Hi, Daniel Tarley here, General Manager of Home. That's H-A-U-M-E. Sometimes renovating an older home built before the 90s is just not worth the hassle, time or the cost. Instead, we buy your home as it is and give you as much time as you need to find your new dream home. We don't charge fees, there's no advertising costs or commissions. We just make the process of selling your home easy. Look out for a letter from us in your mailbox or visit home.com.au. That's haume.com.au.
G'day, Alan Gray here. Talking mechanic to mechanic, one of the toughest parts of our job would have to be tracking down the most reliable four-wheel drive parts. At Terrain Tamer, we have Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, all designed, engineered and tested to outperform the original. Hey, righto guys. Talk to one of Terrain Tamer's army of trained parts interpreters who all speak fluent four-wheel drive, or jump online and have over 60,000 parts at your fingertips, delivered anywhere in Australia. Go to terraintamer.com.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes after 4 on this Thursday afternoon. Of course, Anzac Day tomorrow. In the spirit of the Anzacs, we want to ask you the question, who is the most courageous sportsman you've seen? 8223 0000. You can watch live on the Adrian Bryan Hyundai live stream or on Facebook and YouTube throughout the evening. And all thanks to Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted custom design, fixed pricing and total peace of mind. Trust is a must. We're going to check your roads.
If you're heading towards Tatachilla, got a truck on fire, Main South Road near Tatachilla Road. Thorngate, a crash there. Prospect Road near Fitzroy Terrace causing delays. And Newtonburst Watermain Gorge Road near Silks Road. Getting busy at the moment. South Road, Edwardstown with the Camera Hawkers Road, Medindi. Last chance to shop Anaconda's epic Easter Payless sale. Get up to 50% off a great range of outdoor gear. Ends Sunday. Pay less so you can play more at Anaconda. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Yeah, we're looking for your most courageous player you've either played with or seen or, heard about and the like. Got one here that from Cyril said, Timmy, Wayne Marnie would be the hardest player I've seen, hard as nails. Got to agree with you, mate. He was one of the most toughest, courageous and angriest player I've ever played with. Absolutely.
Now, we're after honest feedback, and we've got some on the unique home-style food text from young Bill. Bill, I dislike phone topics. Let's talk about AFL, SANFL, A-League, 36s, Thunderbirds, please. This is crap.
All right. No, come on, Bill. Let's
Billy,
Tony
Billy,
Darwin.
Billy, hang on. Billy, this is the format. It's engaging. It
that's why
gets the phones ringing.
That's why Tony at Darwin's given us a call.
Come on,
go Tony.
Yeah, just in Bangkok at the moment, not Darwin.
Oh,
so
right. Just a further north.
You behave yourself up there, Tony.
Well, good luck.
Well, I won't follow Cornsy's lead, I can tell you, after his Phuket trip. But anyway, that's another one.
I'm not going there either. He's a cobber.
Oh, God. Tony, have you got a courageous player for us?
Now, there's a couple of words there. Wayne Marnie, was it... who sorted Wayne Marnie out at centre forward in one of the finals?
Oh, that was
Stephen Riley?
Stephen Riley. It was the, I reckon it was the Father's Day game just before the finals, and mate, that was a funny day. But they had the big fight, and then the drink bottle used to have a straw.
The most courageous, I think, is Kim Klomp in the North Adelaide days. I mean, the old bloodbath versus Westies. He was like an Exocet missile for his size. I mean, he was just bloody fearless, unreal and unrelenting. But we actually played a sponsors versus players game, and Klompy was bearing down on me, and I thought it was the end of my days. And then he said, "No, it's all right. I don't take sponsors out." Well, it's about the only person he didn't take out.
Tony, well done to survive that one, mate. There was a few of us that didn't survive it, so well done.
Glenn Archer's getting a number of nominations. As the Mac, isn't it? They're all natural ones, but I like this one.
So he should.
Jason McCartney, the way he fought back from an injury, and then got back to that one game. All he wanted to do was play.
The Bali
that
bombing.
was courageous.
And it was you couldn't write a movie like that, could you? He ends up kicking the winning goal, and then he retires straight afterwards. It was just
and
amazing.
Courage isn't just valour at the ball and the harness at the ball and all that. It's being in pain and working through it.
And that's what he did.
Seeking pain, like players that just run through that pain barrier, and like there's heaps of different examples of courage in sport.
This bloke was pretty good at it too. Happy Valley. G'day, Charlie.
Good evening, guys. Which will I say first? My courageous player or the other question I was going to ask? It's about Oscar Piastri.
I'll go courageous player first, Charlie.
All right. Joel Selwood, because I've only just been put onto that topic, but Joel Selwood, everyone complained about him wiggling out of tackles and that, but that was just him trying to get out of the tackle and move on. So I don't think he was playing for free kicks at all. He was just trying to keep the thing going. Anyway, my question is to Rowey about Oscar Piastri. Are you going to moz him by playing the Can You Feel It? And saying he's a shoo-in for the World Championship?
No, couldn't do that, Charlie. That's being facetious.
Don't do it to him, please.
Can I read out the Confucius one?
No.
Why?
Absolutely. We won't be doing that one. We're going to get to the 4:30 headlines instead.
We're over time.
The Crows Director of Coaching, Murray Davis, to join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. SA Health is notifying thousands of patients caught up in a data breach earlier this month. Liberal leader Vincent Tarsi has issued a statement after his predecessor David Spears was convicted for supplying cocaine, saying it shows no one's above the law. More than 1 million Australians have already cast their votes ahead of next Saturday's election. And Crows forward Darcy Fogarty didn't make the trip to Perth with his teammates as he recovers from a shoulder strain. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
If you're heading towards Tatachilla, got a truck on fire at the moment, Main South Road near Tatachilla Road, crash at Thorngate, Prospect Road near Fitzroy Terrace, First Waterman at Newton, Gorge Road near Silks Road, and Hope Valley urgent sewer work slowing things up the suburb. She's really slow too. Lower North East Road near Awonga Road. Cameras George Street, Norwood, and Golden Grove Road at Golden Grove. The federal election is on Saturday, 3rd of May. If you're unable to make it to a polling place on election day, you may be eligible to vote early. Learn more at aec.gov.au/early. Authorised by the Electoral Commission of Canberra. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, clear tonight and cloudy tomorrow, a high of 25, at the moment 25. More news at 5 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
The Democracy Sausage, it has arrived here at 5AA with our official taste testers Jade Robber and Tom Wren and Jack Lukosius.
You're the first person in South Australia, Jack, to try one of these.
It's beautiful. There's like a little bit of, I don't know, a bit of tang, bit of something going on in there.
It's peppery, isn't it?
Yeah, pepper.
Rennie is the second cab off the rank.
You lovely, nice and lean as well.
Yeah.
Loved it.
5AA breakfast.
I just had a try then. Hey, the texture feels like steak.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Go Harvey Norman. April super deals on now. Save over $500 on Sony's 75-inch 4K TV. Save $600 on Electrolux French door fridge. Save $200 on Acer Aspire Intel Core i5 laptop. Save $350 on Samsung Galaxy S24. 10% off already low prices on selected big brand mattresses. And X-Display and floor stock furniture priced to clear. More super savings in store and online. Harvey Norman April's super deals. Best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Get saving now with City Discount Tyres. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttyres.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
Yeah, I think I'm doing this over the weekend. I'm going to get that Barbie out. I'm going to become the Tong Master once again. And when I do, I'll get the title of Backyard Hospitality Director. And when I do, I'm going to submit my form in, and I'm going to get the best, very best outdoor kitchen from Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens.
It's a great name and a great company. Choose from the best appliances as well. This is what I love. You can choose a bar fridge or a pizza oven, or stun your guests with one of those custom-made concrete bench tops. They do indoor ones as well. These handmade bench tops can really update any kitchen space, custom-made for you. Every piece is unique. It's yours.
Exactly. It is the Stephen Rowe bench top. Simple as that. Unique to you. If you want a consultation or a quote, visit them at Seaford Meadows. The showroom's on Farrow Circuit. The best backyard hospitality directors choose Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Go online and see their great work. AdelaideOutdoorKitchens.com.au.
Right now, Suzuki in the City is clearing Suzuki Vitara demos starting from $24,888 with the biggest range of colours to choose from and the biggest savings. Only at Suzuki in the City. T's and C's apply.
Get your wheels from Suzuki in the City. I'm high.
The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home. And for seniors, it's always been great value with 20% discount on selected bistro meals. Yep, 20% off. Feeding the whole family? Bring them all Saturday or Sunday for live acoustic music from 5 p.m. And kids eat free. Some conditions apply. The Excelsior Hotel feels like home, but better. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
I think it's a privilege to be able to play on, on a special weekend or a special day. In our case, we'll do some stuff around during the week. We already have, and we'll do some stuff tonight where we try and educate ourselves a little more on the past, and we'll wear a special jumper for the game as well, which I think the players do enjoy. They enjoy going out and remembering the past and playing on what is a really special day for this country.
Matthew Nix, the Crows coach, at 24 minutes to 5. It's all in the spirit of Anzac Day, and we are asking you for today, 8223 0000. Call in and tell us who's the most courageous sportsman.
Well, we're getting a lot of nominations. Gillian Rolton.
Gillian Rolton.
Gillian Rolton.
Yeah, Gillian Rolton. She actually broke her collarbone and got back on
the horse.
That was outstanding.
Yeah.
That's a great call.
Turia Pitt. Now, if you don't know that story, read her book. Unbelievable. Ultra marathoner.
Yes.
Got burnt in the bushfire. No, WA up north. And her fight to come back and live the life she has is quite amazing.
That's a good call.
I did like this one. Most courageous radio presenter ever, Rowey, until the person he bags comes on air. Laugh out loud. Oh, that's not funny. I don't do that. That's actually been sent from Justin Reid.
Oh,
that's the name.
No, that's not funny.
Does that text say that?
Well,
that has to be wrong because he won't come on. And I get that. Yeah. I understand that. Yeah. So it wasn't from him. No, and if you want to see courage, get him on.
All right, let's get to our next guest. This guy will come on. Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Golf Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Crows are in Perth in preparation for a massive Anzac Day clash. Cannot wait for this one. Joining us is Coaching Director for the Crows, Murray Davis. Murray, welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
6 rounds in. I think that's a fair sample size. I think we can see what you're on about. Are you happy where you are? Are you in front of the curve where you thought this team may have been?
Yeah, well, it's a good. It's always a good thing to be ahead of the curve, and I think the one thing that you're always trying to look for within the team is improvement and being able to win different ways, and that's probably what we liked so much about the win over GWS on the weekend. We had to win it a different way, and so as a coaching group and a playing group and as a club, we were really pleased with that. So. There's you don't get too much time to reflect. Really, you move on pretty quickly, and post that day, it was on to Fremantle pretty quickly.
Well, I love that win. We won ugly, led from start to go against a team most of in the top 4. I said it's as good a win as I can remember since the 2017 prelim final win against Geelong, and I got hailed down, Murray. That was as good a win as I can remember for the club in those conditions.
Yeah, that's a bit harsh, Ro, to get because I'm with you.
Smashed, Buzz. Got smashed.
No, well, look, I can understand, it wasn't high scoring and all that type of stuff that maybe, a lot of people enjoy around some of our games. They have been probably a lot of goals kicked, but I'm with you. I loved it. I thought that we had to win a different way against a very good football team in GWS, and I thought the lads were really disciplined in their performance.
My watch from now, sort of like, till the mid-part or to the end of the year, is this attack tick, score from turnover, number 1 tick. I can go through the other ones where you're great and have improved, and the key word is improve. I'm keen to see how your team defence, how you fix that with score against and defending turnover against and getting scored against without losing your one wood, which is attack.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think every team's trying to find that balance of how you do both, and we've talked a lot about that as a group. And that's a key word is finding the balance and allowing yourself to still be able to kick a score whilst not exposing yourself to then being scored against. So, that's always work in progress, that one, Rowan, because you're right, you don't want to lose that power to be able to score, and I think we can score quickly. We've just got to make sure we find the right times and the right moments to be able to do what we do, ball in hand, whilst not exposing our defence. And I'm not referring to our backs either, it's probably our whole team defence, because we've done a pretty good job at minimising score full ground, if to go into detail, basically the opposition taking the ball from the length of the field and scoring. We've been pretty good in that area. So there's just a couple of things that we can tidy up within our back half and our team defence.
You seem to stick to the boundary a bit more against GWS. Was that a plan for the opposition, or was that because of the weather?
Yeah, it was probably more to do with the conditions, to be honest. I think, we sort of had a little bit of a plan in place in regards to how we wanted to move the ball, and that was linked to how we wanted to defend them. So, yes, maybe a little bit of boundary stuff in that. Yeah, when the rain came, and it was quite swirly, and even from the coach's box, we were continually checking in with the players and talking to them during the breaks, and even walking off at half-time, we sort of thought, it's quite blustery. So I think both teams found it a little difficult at times, so maybe a little bit of that boundary line play was more so on the back of the conditions than anything.
You'd be excited. Their defence, one-on-one, not the strongest. They're ranked 17th at the moment in their one-on-one. So I reckon if I was your forward line, I might be licking my lips the way you're coming in.
Yeah, well, it was interesting watching the Melbourne game. We sort of got to watch a sort of first half of that on the TV, and then obviously we were preparing for our game and then going back and watching it, and watching a little bit of Melbourne sort of move the ball and attack sort of fairly deep. I think most teams, I mean, if you can get that ball in there enough and get the ball in deep enough, you're going to put most backs under a bit of pressure. So, we'll have a bit of a plan in place in regards to how we try to move the ball inside our forward half against Freo for sure.
Fremantle coach Justin Longmuir yesterday said he needs to find their, inverted commas, ruthless defensive team mindset. You might find a measly old Freo tomorrow.
Yeah, well, they're when they get their game up and going, they're really hard to score against. And, they got a lot of weapons. Their stoppage game is probably a real strength of theirs, and they probably got their colours lowered against Melbourne in that area. But most teams, and we're expecting a response. I mean, it's been pretty clear what they've been working on during the week. So our guys will be under no illusions what's required in regards to that ability to win the contest and win the stoppage game. So, as I mentioned, they got some class through there, and so do we as well. So it should be a really good battle.
Darcy Fogarty's out, the big fog. So what's your backup plan?
Well, we've got a couple of options because, Josh Rowey's the other one that's, put his hand up as well. So, he'll come back into the mix. We have the option there probably to even look at a Dan Curtin potentially playing a bit more time forward. So he's been doing that anyway, but we've got some other levers to pull there. I think that's what I've really, not just myself, the whole coaching group, and that's what we've been really proud of, is that we've got a few different avenues to goal, we feel. So we don't just rely on the one person to hit the scoreboard and impact it each week. So we feel like we've got a few different options there.
The PPT team, there was some talk of resting Tex for this Friday. Where's he at? Is he getting along the ground well? Was there talk of him resting?
Well, I think at the start of the season there was obviously talk around how do we make sure we give Tex the best opportunity to perform throughout the whole season. And to his credit, I think it's largely due to the work that Tex did over the pre-season and the way he's managing his own performance and body and the work he's doing away from the football club. He's in good nick. He's in really good. Yeah, I mean, he's performing on the field, but even just the way he's recovering and there's no signs of him slowing up. Which is a great thing.
Yeah, we're speaking with Adelaide Football Club coaching director Murray Davis. Murray, Josh Tracy, number one in lead marks. You had a welcome return in Nick Murray, who I thought was terrific. Does that the job he get?
It'll be a good battle, those two. So you can read between the lines there. I think it's the obvious one. It's the obvious one, isn't it? I think that's what people want to go and see.
Absolutely. Van der Haas, standing Peter Knights, that sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, even gather round. I went along and watched my old mob play against the Western Bulldogs, and I watched Harris Andrews and Sam Darcy go at it. And it was just, I love that there's still those contests, and it was great to have Nick Murray back into the side. He certainly helped stiffen up our defence a bit. He gives us a lot of direction back there, and you're right, Josh Tracy's in great form. He's been one from afar. I've really admired the way he goes about his footy and attacks the contest. And both those big lads competing will be worth the price of admission, as they say.
Yes. Rowey O'Brien last week, he had a bit of a quiet one, but this game he bounced back beautifully, responded, and I thought tore Briggs apart. But I thought it was really important during the week. Matty Nix backed him in, and what the psychology behind that? How important is it for the coach to back in when you've had one sort of quieter week? I couldn't understand the focus on him, but I thought it was terrific the way the big fella bounced back.
Yeah, I think that's a really good insight into the relationship of a coach with their player and the trust that they've built over the journey and the belief that they have in them to do that and to respond. And you're right, Riley did a great job in that space. He really played with the presence, and we need him up and going again this week as well. But I think that's again just another insight into the close working relationship of a coach and a player.
Anzac Day, it's probably our most significant day on our calendar. Will you do any special guest speaking roles or anything, or play on that at all with the boys? Have you got anything planned, Murray?
Yeah, we'll look to certainly do something. later tonight at the hotel. So our club doctor is a bit of a historian, and Mark Sessner will do a little bit to educate us all on the importance of Anzac Day and what it means. So we're really privileged to be able to play.
Brilliant. Murray, thanks for your time. Have a ripper tomorrow. Anzac Day, as we said, it's Friday night. It's a massive clash. It's under lights, a national stage. I know you'll do us proud, mate. Thanks for your time.
Thanks again for having me on, and go Crows.
Well done. Murray Davis there, Adelaide Crows coaching director. Big game tomorrow.
Always is,
I am that excited about this game.
It's just a round that you just want to play well, don't you? But as an individual, as a team, all of that. It's so important.
But where the Crows were when they started their rebuild, where Fremantle were when they started their rebuild, how they've done it, and where they're at right now on the back of both teams last year, bit disappointing. Massive game. Massive. Massive.
Could be a turning point.
Yeah. Murray Davis, our guest.
All thanks to Sterling Homes. Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the goal square, you can customise your build today with Sterling Homes. It is 12 minutes to 5. We'll get back to your calls in just a sec. Here's your traffic around Adelaide.
Afternoon, if you're heading towards Tatachilla, got a truck on fire, Main South Road near Tatachilla Road. Thorngator crash, Prospect Road near Fitzroy Terrace. Burst water main at Newton Gorge Road near Silks Road. And urgent sewer works are super slow this arvo. This is at Hope Valley, Lower North East Road near Awonga Road. Cameras, Salisbury Highway, Dry Creek and Rundle Street at Kent Town. Need a break? Don't delay. AirAsia's 25% off flight sale is on today. So hurry, book now at airasia.com. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early or late. Either way, the Olympic Industry sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA-engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industry sale. On now.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Now more than ever, you need an agent who's not just out for a quick sale. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. There's a good reason Toop and Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for its clients. With a history spanning almost 40 years and a team of unrivalled experience, Toop and Toop knows what it takes to maximise your results in any selling conditions. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
Now, introducing More Rewards. You may have heard me speaking about this in the past. Get on board. It's Sip and Save. Now, More Rewards is where you'll get the best deals, exclusive offers and much, much more.
So have a listen to these Sip and Save More Rewards prices. Heineken 24 packs, just $51.99. What about the Wild Turkey 81 proof bourbon, 700ml bottle? Wait for it. What? $49.99.
That's what the advert does for Wild Turkey.
Yeah, well done.
So that's a good one. That's a good deal, that. I'll get on board. Now, why would you wait? Join today, and as a member, you can get these Sip and Save More Reward offers. Now, Sip and Save More Rewards, where rewards are more rewarding.
Sip and Save, there's more in store. Prices may vary in country areas. Do this. Drink responsibly.
Hi, Brett Ebert here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda. They'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. And your breakfast or lunch is on them. Your car gets the love too with their state-of-the-art service centre, brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, they'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Here's some news to make you feel better. Federal Labor has opened 5 free Medicare urgent care clinics in Adelaide, with another opening soon. And will also deliver more bulk billing for all South Australians.
Authorised A. Burke, Australian Labor Party, Adelaide.
Come on in.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 90 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 8 minutes to 5. Very soon we'll speak to Channel 7's Brian Taylor as we build up to Anzac Day footy tomorrow on 7 at the MCG. And we here on 5AA has your chance to get to the showdown in a couple of weeks' time. And not only can you get tickets, but also a night's accommodation at the Pullman Adelaide. A great place to stay. If you want to win, enter now 5AA.com.au through the 5AA player app as well. And you can listen to 5AA. Simply just hit stream and you're in the draw. It is that easy. Kick off your AFL experience now at Pullman Adelaide, the top stay in the East End for footy fans. Book now at pullmanadelaide.com.au.
Yeah, we've been asking your most courageous player you've seen, played with, heard about. We've got Andy at Brighton. G'day, Andy.
Hi, how you going, guys? All right?
Good, buddy, good.
Yeah, I don't know what, I only caught on to what you were talking about a little later, so somebody might have mentioned him. Do you remember the guy that used to play in the late 90s and early 2000s for Port Adelaide called Michael Wilson?
Loved him.
Yeah, ripper.
That guy was knocked around more than any other player that I've ever seen, and he always got up and he kept going, and he had every injury you could mention except a broken back, I think, but he always got up.
Andy, you're right. He played with in the 2004 grand final where both shoulders had to be reconstructed after
the game.
It was unbelievable. He's a very courageous player. Had the pleasure of playing with him as a young man, and he snuck a couple of Maggie's premierships in before he went off to the AFL. So a very courageous player.
Warrior. Hey, physio, I reckon, in the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
And worked at Port for some years.
Yeah, and now works at the Australian Defence Force. The Australian Federal Police, and does physio work there.
I've heard that. Yeah, Ripper nomination, Andy. Hello, Dave.
G'day, boys. That was a good call. Wilson was a wonderful player.
Yes, he was.
I would like to say that John Cahill was the most courageous player I have ever seen. In his era, as a brilliant wingman and centreman, he encountered men like Doug Thomas, Neil Curley, Brian Fazy, and they would hit like these players today wouldn't know how they get hit. But he was an absolute champion. He went on to captain and coach the team, and week after week I used to see him come up after getting belted and still play brilliantly, and I just admired him as a man. And I think in the days of Graham Cooper and Donnie Thompson, they were around then, and they suffered the same thing, the same
treatment.
Against West Adelaide. Those finals against West Adelaide were brutal, and I guess I'm going back a long way in time, but West Adelaide were a very tough, strong side, and the head of them was Neil Curley and Dougie Thomas and so forth. But you had your Bagshaws and your Shearmans, but I just think Johnny Cahill stands out in my mind as a wonderful example of courage and brilliance.
Well said, Dave. I don't think there's been a more successful player-coach combination than he.
No, I don't think so.
Well, now
I think 14 premierships in all, right. Player and coach. So, has
it ever been discussed a statue at Albion Oval for Jack?
We don't have any statues.
You don't, do you?
No, we don't have any statues, and not really. We haven't really got any names around the place.
You're not a statue club.
Not really.
Gee, is that the ultimate, or a stand being named after you?
Yeah, I like the stand thing. We've got the Foss Williams family stand, and we've got the Bob Quinn stand.
But I think a statue's the biggest. If you've got a bronze statue of you, I think that's the biggest accolade you can get. You go around the MCG, you're revered. You look at our oval with the three greats we've got.
Yeah,
just surprised.
Should he be honoured at Albion?
Well, I think it should be honoured at Adelaide Oval a bit more than what he is at the moment. So,
so he's got the Andrew McLeod.
Imagine if I had my way, what would be built of you have one yourself? Besides mine.
Oh, yeah. Let's hello, Rex.
G'day, boys. The most courageous thing I've seen on a footy field is the bloke I owned, Adrian Sutton.
Oh yeah.
Fullback for North Adelaide back in the 60s, I reckon. Well, it wasn't the 60s.
Yeah.
And I got an idea he might have been against Port, but I don't remember the team, but I do remember what happened. Bloke was running into goal, and Adrian just dashed out and pulled back a shirt front of him. and finished up going off on the stretcher. But they didn't get the goal.
Well, there you go. Stop the
so
goal.
he hurt himself doing a shirt front.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that dumb?
Knocked himself out, but he stopped the goal.
Rex.
Well done, Rex. Well done.
Unbelievable.
Well, hey, that's a nomination.
It's a nomination.
Outstanding.
You can have dumb courage.
Jonathan Brown.
Dumb courage.
Yeah.
That one where Nick Rewalt come back. Dumb courage.
Wow.
Yep. It all counts. It's courage. 8223 0000. We'll take more of your calls after the 5 o'clock news. Brian Taylor to join us next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Royal Gala apples, Royal Gala apples, you'll come a Royal Gala apples with me.
Aldi's Royal Gala apples are now just $2.99 per kilo. And Aussie as. Aldi. Good different.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Plant the seed of your legacy. Centennial Park's new Living Legacy Forever Flowers offers a heartfelt and sustainable way to commemorate your loved one. For the first time in South Australia, Living Legacy's groundbreaking science allows your loved one's ashes to positively impact the environment, creating a beautiful, lasting tribute where friends and family can gather and reflect whilst contributing to the beautiful botanical environment. To learn more about Living Legacy Forever Flowers, visit centennialpark.org.
Less pear, more Pinot.
Oh, less crom, more canapes.
Less marks, more marquees.
Less clangers, more caviar.
We're talking about the Sportsbet Adelaide Racing Carnival. It is this Saturday, April the 26th. Give the footy a bit of a miss and have a real ball at the track. It's the nation's finest horse racing at the Sportsbet Robert Sangster Stakes and Australian Oak Day.
Yeah, the Australasian Oaks Day. It's going to be huge. Sportsbet Adelaide Racing Carnival this Saturday, April 26th. It's going to be huge. Less mullets and more meringues. More Morpherville.
Hey there. Is your car's next service coming up? And Saturday is the only day you're available? Book your next service at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. We're famous for our next day servicing, which is now available Saturdays too. We do complimentary loan vehicles, free car wash and vacuum, or if it's an express service, enjoy Wi-Fi, coffee and snacks. If you have work to do, we have a business centre too. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen for next day servicing. Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Oh, here's one. Hey, you leaving, mate?
Yeah, one sec, buddy.
Okay, no worries. Oh, come on. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Parking turning you into someone you're not? Search UPark app today.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Clear tonight and cloudy tomorrow, a high of 25. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Macca's delicious new Brekkie McWrap is even more reason for a pre-work Macca's run. Available for a limited time.
Former State Liberal leader David Spears has been sentenced for supplying cocaine to 2 men last year. He'll have to do 37.5 hours of community service and pay a $9,000 fine. A conviction's also been recorded. In sentencing, the magistrate said the pressures of political life were no reason he should escape a conviction, and it was an injury he'd inflicted upon himself. Mr. Spears didn't speak to reporters outside court.
What has this been for your overseas travel? How disappointed are you that there was a conviction for it? Why are you speaking to state agents? How do you feel about being a convicted criminal? What are your plans now? Where to for you now?
Liberal leader Vincent Tarzia has issued a statement saying it shows no one is above the law. The personal data of more than 2,000 sleep study patients at the Women's and Children's Hospital has been compromised. Third-party company Compumedics has been dealing with a ransomware attack for the past month. SA Health Chief Dr Robin Lawrence says it's extremely disappointing.
We will be working very closely with Compumedics to ensure that all data systems security is strengthened for the future. In the meantime, we've taken that equipment offline.
Patients who could be impacted are currently being contacted. The government is criticising the Coalition's domestic violence pledge, saying some of the measures already exist. More from Zach De Silva.
The opposition says it'll spend $90 million improving women's safety if it wins the election. That includes allowing police to better track domestic violence offenders across state lines by setting up a national database. Liberal leader Peter Dutton says he'd also make it illegal to intimidate a partner or family member using the internet.
The scourge of domestic violence is just completely and utterly unacceptable.
But Minister for Women Katie Gallagher is accusing the Coalition of ripping off policies which already exist.
That national register that they've announced today is already being funded.
Labor is also promising a crackdown on financial abuse if it wins the election.
Long queues of people have been marshalled through St Peter's Basilica to pay their respects to the Pope. Pope Francis's body will lie in state for 2 more days by the papal altar before his funeral on Saturday. Australian Catholic University's Rome campus director Dr Claudio Betti says even in death he's displaying his humility and touch with the common man.
He is buried in a normal casket, while the others were laying on a pedestal. So I think that this is something, but the rest cannot be met. I'm sure I understand that, and I think he would understand too.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Terrain Tamer Parabolic Leaf Springs for a comfortable ride in your 4-wheel drive. terraintamer.com.
The Crows will be without Darcy Fogarty when they take on Fremantle tomorrow night, but another forward, Josh Rochelle, could return from injury. He's missed the past 3 games with broken ribs. An extended squad flew to Perth today and coach Matthew Nick says they'll have a run this afternoon and see how he goes.
He's feeling fantastic. We'll do a light run today and he'll do a little bit more just to get moving, make sure he's okay, probably run into a couple of bags, but he's really confident. I'm really confident in him as well, and that'll be a decision we'll make together.
Well, an injury blow for Port. Youngster Tom Cochrane has a stress fracture in his foot and could spend up to 3 months on the sidelines. Joe Richards is set to replace him in the side to play North Melbourne on Saturday. NASCAR driver Kyle Larson has set his sights on a bucket list supercars start right here in Adelaide.
One that kind of stands out to me and hopefully we can kind of put it together down the road would be I'd like to run a supercar in particular Adelaide. It's their finale. They have a sprint car track in the city as well, so I could do both. So I would like to do that. There's been some conversation, so we'll see where it kind of goes.
Now I'm checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
If you're heading towards Tatachilla, got a truck on fire, Main South Road near Tatachilla Road. In the city, a crash, Frome Street near Grenfell Street. Anglevale, another collision there, Fantasia Drive near Stevens Drive. Look out for works at Penfield, Wommer Road near Heathleap Road. Got a camera, Hawkers Road at Badindi. Pizza's always perfect for sharing. With Faster Passes sharing plate menu, you can share mini pizzas, perfectly delicious. Sharing never tasted better at Faster Pasta. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Clear tonight and cloudy for Anzac Day tomorrow, heading for 25. Partly cloudy Saturday, 23, and then cloudy on Sunday, 21. Right now, 23. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Tom Wren. Tonight, former opposition leader David Speers admits his deepfake lie as he's convicted and fined for supplying cocaine. The 8-hour queue to farewell the Pope. At 6, we're live to the Vatican. Also, the surprising link between blood pressure and dementia, and the Crows fly to Perth without a big name star. 9 News, your news. Nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
The new Subway signature chicken Caesar wrap. Succulent rotisserie-style chicken with a drizzle of creamy Caesar dressing, bacon and fresh salad. It's your shortcut to Tasty Town, my friends. Please enjoy your stay.
Hitting the open road? Camper Agent RV Supercentre is the only place to go for the biggest range of new and used caravans and motorhomes, including top brands like Winnebago, Windsor, Corrimal, Hitchhiker, X-Tour and more. Hurry in for clearance specials, ready for immediate delivery and priced to move fast. Save up to $15,000. Plus, get a 3-year warranty on great value pre-owned Kia and Talbot motorhomes and camper vans. Visit Camper Agent RV Supercentre Parafield Gardens to start your adventure.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
7 minutes after 5. It's a Thursday night, but it's the end of the working week. A long weekend right on the horizon. You might have just clocked off, so it all begins for you. We're asking you for your calls tonight. Who have you seen in the past the most courageous sports person, you reckon? 8223 0000. We'll get your calls on the air very soon. At 5:50 tonight, Crows and Port's team selection will drop for the Anzac Day footy weekend. We have Tyson Goldsack from Port Adelaide to come up very shortly. Big game against the Roos coming up on Saturday. And Terry McAuliffe is going to chat to us as well. And don't forget, you can watch now live on the Adrian Bryan Hyundai live stream. But Timmy, let's get to our next guest.
Well, the Anzac Day blockbuster, it's always a huge weekend of sport, but it always starts with the Collingwood and Essendon clash. It'll be live on 7 and 7+. And we've got the great BT with us, Brian Taylor. G'day, mate.
Gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm looking forward to that welcome come Anzac Day, but you've gone a little early and you will be in the commentary seat with and Bruce McAvaney. Great to see him back doing a bit too with JB, of course, James Brayshaw, Matty Richardson, Abby Holmes. So a big team and a big lineup.
Yeah, it's a big day for the whole Seven Network. It's a massive event to cover. Logistically, it must be a nightmare for all those people behind the scenes to bring us those seamless, beautiful, clear pictures that we get. So it's a really big day, and there's a big team there to play a part.
Do you like covering these ones off? Because I just think with the whole build-up to it, with the ceremonies and the last post and then getting into the anthem and off it goes, it's just one of those great things I reckon to be able to commentate on.
Yeah, it is. It really is. In a lot of ways, it has probably some better moments about it than the grand final day. It's an educational piece, and I find that this game, I know it's Collingwood Essendon, but so many people go that don't barrack for those teams because of what happens before the game.
Yes,
and the ceremony is just incredible to hear the silence in that minute. So it's just absolutely amazing, stunning. And to have all of those people there, and you just feel proud of the football fraternity to be able to assist in recognising those that have fallen. It's an amazing day. I think Anzac Day, from a football perspective, and this Anzac Day meeting, has gone more to educate our kids in Australia about what actually happened than any other point they would have ever learnt at school.
Yeah, I nearly subscribe to that, BT. I've been blessed to be at a couple of them. And that minute's silence, when I first witnessed that, not one person mumbles. People take their hat off. They stand. Some of them put their hat to their chest, to their heart, and, they bow their heads. I don't know another moment, other than being at an RSL for that Anzac Day service, a morning service, where we come together as one, completely as one, with respect. I love it, BT.
Yeah, I do too, and I'm so proud to be Australian at that moment, and it's just the moment of the season. I think that couple of where they go through the procedure, the observance. It's just unbelievable to be there. The amount of people I've had asking me for tickets for this game over the years has been extraordinary. More so than the grand final. I reckon people want to go to this game. Unfortunately, the weather sounds like it's not going to cooperate tomorrow. Even though it's a beautiful day here today, but tomorrow we might get a drop or two.
Yeah. Do you have an Anzac Day memory? We go back to 95, the drawn one, the Anzac Day, the first one.
Yeah, that was incredible. Probably the Zaharakis one for me. He strolled in and kicked that goal towards the end there. That's probably the memory of Anzac Day for me. Probably also going back to when Mark McGough won the Anzac medal as a 7-year-old kid as well. Is probably another highlight. James Hird was always a highlight on these particular days. So there's a few.
Yeah, he won 3 medals. Well, I think the leaderboard is Collingwood 17, Bombers 10, 2 draws, and one as early as 2024. So just last year was a draw, and of course the first one was a draw. So there's great history already there. But the 95,179 that went in 2023, that they'd say that's the most. But I don't reckon anybody knows how many were there in 1995. Didn't they smash down the northern gates to get in?
Yeah, I reckon that's probably pretty true, actually. Probably, the longer you go back, the bigger the crowds were, because they weren't counted all that accurately as they are today. But whatever happens, we know we had the biggest crowd for the season last Easter Monday. That was the biggest year in 89,000.
Yeah,
we're going to surpass that tomorrow. There will be 90,000 there. So it's just I look at someone like the WSL, the World Surf League, is down at Bells Beach at the moment, and this is a world competition. They must look at our sport and go. And I know they were all at the game last Monday watching it because they came into the commentary box. They must go, what is this sport that can attract these sort of crowds to this massive venue? They must sit there in amazement, I reckon, other professional sports people watching our game.
Well, it's got a fair history to it, hasn't it? 150 years of it, so we've grown to love it. But this game itself, who are you picking? Because Bombers have won their last 3, and albeit they've played teams that probably weren't in great form, but they've won their last 3. Collingwood have won their last 5, including that great win against Brisbane last week. Is it just a matter of how far Collingwood?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter who, but I take your point on Essendon. They've beaten Port, Melbourne and West Coast over the last 4 weeks. Collingwood have won the last 5 in a row. I just think it all pales into insignificance tomorrow. It doesn't seem to matter. There's such an adrenaline rush out of this game tomorrow that people are capable of achieving great feats, as we've seen time and time again on this particular day. Collingwood are playing some really good football. Darcy Moore is going to be, they've just got their back line together after a miserable year from their back line last year. They've just got the nuts and bolts of that happening this year for the first time, and then Darcy Moore is out of the side. So I don't know how much that'll affect them, but they've certainly got that working better. I think Essendon, they're a middle-of-the-road side. They're going to finish somewhere from sort of 8 to 12, somewhere in that range there. So, but tomorrow can change things just for the day.
True.
Just on Darcy Moore, had a head clash, bleeding from his ear, all that, and then, I wake up yesterday and I hear he's got vertigo. So no correlation towards a head knock on the weekend, BT? It's I'm jumping at shadows. There's no,
I was surprised by that too. I was surprised. They've come out and said there's no relevance to what happened last weekend as to what's happening right now with him. So I must admit I was surprised when I heard that today. So I don't know whether funny buggers are being played or what's going on, but the thing is that he's not going to play. He's not going to play at all.
Okay. Collingwood by plenty. Later that night on 7 will be the other game. FIVEAA at Optus versus my mob, the Crows. We'll lick them over there, won't we, BT? The mighty Crows. We're back, and I'm about to lift the bloody lid.
There's a lot of pump and push and tickle and about Adelaide, but to me they're just they're floating along at the moment.
Okay.
Everyone tells me they're a better side. They're 4-2. Their total losses only add up to 20 points, which is pretty damn good. Got Fremantle, Carlton, Port and Collingwood over the next 4 weeks. Tough run. Are Adelaide any good? Can they win? Yes, they can beat Fremantle, I believe. They're probably an equal team to what Fremantle are. Are they a gun team that's going to be competing at the top 4 or 5 at the end of the year? No, they're not.
Okay. Now, let's finish with a whisper, BT. What's happening? A big bang, a big story, a typical BT. Give us something, BT, over there, because, it doesn't cross the border to us. We get things a little slower, so you can be first to dance.
Listen, I know, and you and Caroline Wilson are very, very close in your secret. There's not much going on over here at the moment. I wouldn't have thought in the football world. There's a few little ticklers going around the edges, which you'll hear of in those scurrilous pages. But other than that, mate, she's all full steam ahead over here. We can't wait for tomorrow, and we can't wait for the season to finish.
Love you, BT. Well done, mate.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Brian. Really appreciate your time, buddy.
Good on you, boys.
That's Brian Taylor, all for Channel 7 Sport. Of course, Anzac Day, Collingwood v Essendon, live and free from 2 p.m. And that's Australian Eastern Time, so it'll be 1:30 our time. Friday, 25th of April, 7 mate, and 7+ Sport. Brian Taylor, our guest.
It's super exciting. It's 17 minutes after 5. Let's check your roads around Adelaide.
At Hope Valley, urgent sewer works, Lower North East Road near Awonga Road. We're slow for works at Blair, Main Road near Manouta Drive. Really busy at the moment, the intersection of Grand Junction Road and Hampstead Road, and starting to get busy for the drive home South Road at the Crossroad intersection. Cameras, One Tree Hill Road, Golden Grove, and Whites Road, Paralawi. Hurry into Dan Murphy's for low prices this long weekend. Great Northern Supercrisp Lager, 330ml bottles, 24 case, $45 for members. Ends Sunday. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
David, this election, as always, 5AA will be your home for news and information as it happens. But look, as hard-hitting as it gets, will also be your home for the sausage sizzle.
That's right, Will. I've been in the kitchen creating our very own democracy sausage, coming to a barbecue near you on election day.
If you're running a barbecue at a polling booth and would like some free David and Will democracy sausages, register now at 5AA.com.au.
It's all thanks to Najobi. From their award-winning farm to your table, Najobi delivers premium fresh beef and lamb ethically, locally, effortlessly. Najobi.com.au.
Binary stars. Two celestial bodies intertwined as perfectly as the dual temperature controls of Aldi's CombiZone air fryer. Just $99.99. Because sometimes two cooking zones are better than one. It's balance, efficiency. It's perfectly crispy potatoes and veg. And it's special you can buy at Aldi's Family Cook-Up Sale this Saturday. Somebody pass the gravy boat, please. Aldi. Good different.
Quit your way in May. Yeah, you can be smoke-free in so many ways. If the cravings kick in, give yoga a spin. When you start feeling low, give pickles a go. To get off the smokes, stick up some notes. Put the vapes away for the month of May.
This May, join in and find your way to be smoke and vape free. To register and get helpful tips and support, visit quityourwayinmay.com.au.
Quit your way in May.
A message from the Government of South Australia.
I'm going to read a text shortly. I think Joe's worked me out. Question my true Anzac spirit. Joe! Hey, how's this? I think it's the best Beechwood home yet, and that's saying something, because I thought they did a great job with Jodie's house. I have. It's a bold new era of Beechwood design. It's about to be revealed in Craigburn Farm. Set for completion in the coming months, this multi-level stunner is a masterpiece of innovation, luxury, Timmy. I don't know why I pronounce it like that, but it is pure style and luxury.
Correct.
It's inspired by the timeless glamour of the Palm Springs in California. Caliente is designed for entertaining, effortless relaxation. It's perched high on the side of a mountain. Well, not a mountain, on a hill. Well, basically a cliff. And it offers breathtaking views of multiple indoor and outdoor living spaces and a show-stopping swimming pool. Prefer to stay in? Well, yeah. Jodie's a bit of a, I call her Pegs. She likes to stay in.
Right.
I'm out, she's in. That's why we've been married for 33 years.
That's nice.
And every now and then you ships it at night, you cross over. But when you're Pegs, mate, you stay in. How's this? The lounge has got a fireplace. Jodie's never going to move.
Oh, lovely.
Savour a bottle for that climate-controlled wine room. Oh, God, Jodie doesn't want to be too far away from a wine room.
That's a good idea.
And take the elevator to explore the incredible home designed for all generations. Love this joint. The team at Beechwood Homes have gone all out, and they cannot wait to show it off. Their experienced Caliente, do it for yourself. Get in and see it. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Go Harvey Norman. April's super deals on now. Save over $500 on Sony's 75-inch 4K TV. Save $600 on Electrolux French door fridge. Save $200 on Acer Aspire Intel Core i5 laptop. Save $350 on Samsung Galaxy S24. 10% off already low prices on selected big brand mattresses. And X-Display and floor stock furniture priced to clear. More super savings in store and online. Harvey Norman April's super deals. Best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Gordon Ramsay's back.
Welcome back to MasterChef, everyone.
And so are your favourites.
Please welcome Laura, Callum, Sarah.
Bring it back.
MasterChef starts 7:30 Monday on 10 and 10 Play.
We love to see you, see it.
CMI Toyota, SA's #1 selling Toyota dealer, has a huge range of Toyota certified pre-owned vehicles in stock. Get great value backed by CMI Toyota advantages with free roadside assistance, extended warranty, even a 7-day money-back guarantee. View the range online at cmitoyota.com.au or visit CMI Toyota today. We'd love to see you.
Love to see you, smiling.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
22 after 5, Tyson Goldsack from Port Adelaide at 5:30. We're taking your calls. Most courageous sports person, 8223 0000. And if you want to win your way to the first showdown of the year, get on the 5AA website, 5AA.com.au, or go onto the 5AA player app and stream 5AA. You might not just score tickets, but you'll also score a night's accommodation at the Pullman Adelaide. You can book now at pullmanadelaide.com.au. The best footy fans stay in the East End.
Traffic alert, traffic alert. A train has hit a car in the intersection of South and Cross Roads. Train is across the intersection. Major delays. Emergency services are on the way. I'm on the train. No injuries to driver, luckily. Kim at North Brighton. Kim, thank you. So that's Cross Road and South Road, the intersection. Steer clear if you can. I'm glad to hear that everyone's okay. Hey, Kim, thank you. Have we got anything from Kim?
Oh, a prize?
Traffic update.
Well, that's what he did.
That's
We'll
$50. Thanks for being part of the show.
Yeah, well, Hardy handshake.
There you go, Hardy handshake.
That's a very important alert. Thank you, Kim.
Wow, I had a $50 powers voucher.
Well, you can still order him.
No, he doesn't deserve it, apparently.
Yes, he does.
It's a community service announcement. Now, Joe, have you worked me out? Fair dinkum. Seriously, Stephen, you bang on your chestnut about keeping the lid on it, read the Crows, then you milk to nothing when BT says he doesn't think there'll be a top side. Where is your Anzac spirit?
Oh, Joe.
Joe? No. Joe. Correct.
Yeah, spot on.
Joe, you have worked me out long before this text.
He did shut you down.
He did. And I gave no fight. Nothing back.
It was horrendous.
Now, we were getting the wind up. Like, I was getting that, so I didn't think I had time for whatever.
A fight.
Hello, Graham.
Yeah, good day, guys. How you going? Hope you're having a good day.
Hope you are too, Graham.
Can I just digress? One of my luckiest days was to lead the march at Anzac Day down King William Street and then do the Guard of Honour up there.
Wow.
Brilliant, Graham.
Which was a funny thing because it was a warm day and they said if the guy alongside you faints, grab his uniform so he don't fall on his face.
Oh, there you go.
So did you serve, Graham?
Yeah, I had one each side of me, believe that.
Okay.
Anyhow, just getting back to the others, I'm a Port Adelaide supporter, so I'll put that out there. I was born about 200 yards from the Oval. And the thing that I saw was Bob Hammond in the grand final against Glenelg. I don't think I've ever seen too many footballers play a game. You only had to look where the ball was. He was there. It was just an incredible game from one man, and if they lost that, it wasn't because of him.
Yeah.
And the other one was Jeff Motley. With what he went through, and this particular game was against the Victorians, where we flogged them, doubled the score, and he was across the half-back line, which was unusual, and they couldn't put anyone on him to get him out of the way. And he just played this magnificent game. And I used to go regular to the football. And those two guys were the best games I think I've ever seen.
Brilliant stuff,
done,
mate.
Graham.
Well done, Graham.
I love our listeners.
Terrific stuff.
Traffic update from Summertown. All clear here, no dramas. Where's my bottle of Blackgut Shiraz? That's what you've opened yourself up for.
Not me.
Yes, you have.
I opened nothing. I closed it down.
One was a serious incident.
It was.
Come on, Tim.
But no, you don't just hand out lollies.
Willy-nilly.
We weren't. That was a good update.
Yeah. This one was crap. The other one was real.
You two are unbelievable.
Timmy, a train has had a collision with a car on the corner of Cross and South Road. That's serious, mate.
And I appreciated it. I appreciated the update.
All you appreciate.
Well, have we got something in the lolly bag or something?
Yeah, whatever. Hello, Mike at Manningham.
G'day, fellas. Strangest and most magnificent thing I've ever seen in all my years, and I'm pushing 80 these days, is when I was a kid, and there was a bloke by the name of Thurl Merritt, who was a wingman for Collingwood in their 58 flag, and he broke his leg one miserable Melbourne's cold day, back in the days when you played on cowed paddocks.
Yeah, mud.
And he'd busted his leg, and he went after the ball and after the ball and after the ball right in front of us. Nobody outside the playing field knew what had happened. He got the ball and kicked it, and then played on. And then he was mucking around with his sock. And it was told to us later that night in the Herald, the Melbourne Herald, that he had busted his leg.
Ooh.
And the bone was sticking out through his sock. And he was trying to disguise it and wanted to keep playing. And he objected to be taken off in a stretcher.
That's one tough bloke.
Mike.
It was well covered by the Melbourne press at the time.
Okay.
Wow,
That's
Mike.
a great one, Mike. Thanks for
That's
that.
a tough story.
Greg Turble's getting a couple of nominations.
He was a hard nut, no
There was
doubt
a
about
rooster that lost one of his seeds too. He was tough.
Yeah.
Button Senior or Junior? Lost
Yeah,
one of his seeds, didn't he?
Might have been Junior, maybe.
One of his click-clacks?
Let's go to Yuri at Beaumont. Now, Yuri, hey, mate, thanks for calling in. We got your text, but we can't open that link. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, okay, look, fair enough, boys. Hello, everyone. Yeah, listen, if you go to quickly to Google, you see, do Graham Roberts, there'll be a picture come up with a guy back in the mid-'80s. Obviously, he's a Tottenham supporter because I'm Tottenham.
Right.
And there's a beautiful picture of him with blood all over his face, all down his shirt, and a little adage says, the crest on the front of the shirt will always be bigger than the name on the back of the shirt.
Oh, I like that.
And he was an absolute legend, the Graham. And he's got an autobiography, and of course his book's titled Hard as Nails. What else could it be?
Yeah.
Just so not all soccer players are sissies, by the way. This guy was a legend.
Great call, Yuri. Great call. I like that. I really like the saying about the
The crest on the front of the shirt will always be bigger than any name on the back. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it? I got a nomination from Angela at Albert Park. Rick McCosker.
Oh, good.
1977, of course, centenary test. Got the broken jaw, had to come back on and bat in a lot of pain to finish off Australia's innings. Now, that's a great nomination. But I've got to say, I've heard that there's going to be 150 years Ashes test.
Yes, so that's
happening?
Yes, so that's happening at the MCG. I'm trying to remember, is it 2026? 2027, that's right.
Yeah.
So it'll be in March. It'll be impeding around footy season start.
Yes,
so
it will.
there will be some changes to the fixture, but that is happening, Australia or England.
How's that?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That's the worst strapping from a doctor I've ever seen in the history of sport.
It looked like he had a toothache.
He wrapped him up like it was
like
a nappy.
Cartoon.
Like a cartoon. It was a joke.
Let's get to the 5:30 headlines. We'll speak to Port Adelaide's Tyson Goldsack next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. Former State Liberal leader David Spears has avoided jail for drug offences, but a conviction has been recorded against him. There's been a data breach impacting more than 2,000 people who took part in sleep studies at the Women's and Children's Hospital. Final preparations are underway across SA for dawn services planned throughout the suburbs and regions. And Crows forward Darcy Fogarty is out of the clash against Fremantle tomorrow night due to a shoulder strain, but Josh Rochelle could return. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Marion, a crash to look out for Marion Road near Quick Road in the city. Carvey traffic light West Terrace near Curry Street. Hope Valley, urgent sewer works Lower North East Road near Awonga Road, and busy at the moment for works at Darlington Main South Road near Brookside Road, speeds at 40. Cameras George Street, Norwood and Fitzroy Terrace at North Adelaide. Securely grow your savings with a great interest rate in a CommBank NetBank Saver account. Search CommBank NetBank Saver. T's and C's and eligibility criteria apply. TMD on website. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, clear tonight and cloudy tomorrow for Anzac Day, a high of 25, at the moment 23. More news at 6 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
The Democracy Sausage, it has arrived here at 5AA with our official taste testers Jade Robber and Tom Wren and Jack Lukosius.
You're the first person in South Australia, Jack, to try one of these.
It's beautiful. There's like a little bit of, I don't know, a bit of tang, bit of something going on in there.
It's peppery, isn't it?
Yeah, pepper.
Rennie is the second cab off the rank.
You lovely, nice and lean as well.
Yeah.
Loved it.
5AA breakfast.
I just had a try then. Hey, the texture feels like steak.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Got something big to budge? Budget with Budget. Little trucks, big trucks. You can do it all in a budget rental truck. Get exactly what you need and at a great price too. So remember, whatever you've got to budget with a budget rental truck.
Budget with a budget renter truck. It's quick and cheap. Well, half your luck when you budget with a budget renter truck.
Budget car and truck rental. Call 13 27 27. That's 13 27 27.
G'day South Australians, Rex Patrick and Jackie Lambie here.
How do we bring down the cost of living?
Stop those cartels price gouging our gas, Rex.
Low gas prices mean low electricity prices.
Stop those foreigners buying residential properties, Rex.
That takes away houses that young Australians need.
And take on Coles and Woolies, Rex.
That'll bring food prices down.
And make those first degrees free, Rex.
Let's take the debt burden from our students.
Vote for the Jackie Lambie Network in the Senate. Spoken and authorised by Jackie Lambie and Rex Patrick, 111 Macquarie Street, Hobart, Tasmania.
You know you're drinking good wine when the people who make the wine sit there with you and walk you through the wine.
Oh, it's a joy.
What happens at Rusden's. It is just amazing with those old vines and all of those first-class wines that they have.
Well, there are 7 generations of grape growers that now have a very good winemaker who's revered in the area, along with others, and he loves the region. That's what I love about Rusden Wines.
They promote everybody.
They live and love the region.
Go and try this one. Go over there. They do a good feed, you know. They're good like that.
And it's a great experience to do it. So if you've got friends, mates, interstate or overseas, and you want to go to the Barossa, just make sure you lock in there Rusden Wines. And when you're there, there'll be a wine that you'll love. A white, a red, a port. The Uncle Willie's port's just been done, so that'll be out.
And we're getting some port weather.
Yeah, and it sells like that. Look, I love the Rusden Black Guts. Oh, God.
Yes, you do.
You like the Christian, you like the Ripper Creek, the Boundaries.
The Boundaries, yeah.
But because you're a bit of a wine snob now, and I've taught you that.
You have.
You do. You like the sand scrub. Top of the shelf. You just go straight up there.
Well, what's the point? Mucking around.
What's the point? So please do this on behalf of us. Tell them that we sent you there.
Yes, please.
Take a visit to Rusden Wines. Go to the cellar door. It's in the Barossa. Just make your next red a Rusden Wines. Check out rusdenwines.com.au.
Thinking of painting and don't know where to start?
We do, because we know paint at Crowey's.
So, visit Crowey's. And while you're there, join Crowey's Club to get 10% off everything.
We know paint at Crowey's.
Buy a car from Edwardstown Mazda and win the ultimate Bali holiday. Flights, accommodation and activities. Plus, get up to $8,000 in savings across the entire range. Only at Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
Try the new Subway Signature menu today. It's all your favourites, made with just the right amount of tasty, cravey, cheesy goodness. Now that's the subway to Tasty Town, where that sub is the mayor. But you're also allowed to eat the mayor.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 20. We're really proud of our club that we represent Anzac Day really well, and 21 years in a row nearly that we've, COVID, that we've been able to represent football on Anzac Day, and we take that as a real honour, and we look forward to doing that as a club with rich history, with their players, the names on the jumper and everything else that goes this week. It's such an, a great day and round to be involved with. For us, we'll hopefully represent that the right way.
Sorry, Ken, it's 24 minutes to 6 here on this Thursday evening. Terry McAuliffe is coming up very shortly, but it is time to talk Port Adelaide. They play North on Saturday. All thanks to Sharman Shelving, who have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, Tim, still at 412 North East Road.
Well, Port Adelaide take on North Melbourne in the Anzac round. It'll be on Saturday, Adelaide Oval, 3:45. Of course, 5AA covering it from 3:30pm. We've got the defensive coach for Port Adelaide on the line, Tyson Goldsack. Goldie, welcome.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Got some bad news with Tommy Cochrane and a stress fracture in the foot. That's no good.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame.
Yeah.
And he's had it, I think about 18 months ago, he had that trouble, and we were hoping that it wasn't the same, but unfortunately he's going to miss a little bit of time, but did enjoy what he showed us in his limited time, so that's exciting going forward.
Oh, it certainly is. We know he's got talent there. Joe Richards, of course, just pulled out. He had, a bit of gastro or something, so will he be okay to just come in for the 1-for-1?
Yeah, he's fine to go. So he started feeling sick on about the Thursday of last week, and we waited and we were going to fly him up on the day of the game, but to try and get up to play at that level on that kind of lead in would be tough. So we're happy to give Rory Atkins his first crack, and he showed that he can play at a level as well. So that's handy going forward.
Absolutely, and came off as the sub and did really well. So congratulations to the Rat for making his debut for Port. That was great. Hey, I thought both your kingpins in Asava and Alir very good last week, and Asava especially getting so much confidence with his hands.
Yeah, that is the key for Sav, just to build on that confidence. We know that he can play the game. We know he's a powerful unit. Trying to get him to do it for a whole game is the challenge, and not try and come in and out of games. He's not blessed with endurance, so you just got to try and work it to his favour. Given the matchups that he prefers, or not he prefers, but we prefer to see him in, which can last in the game. And Alir, we know, is a star now. I don't think Alir was at his best last week. I thought he missed some opportunities. He's still got 9 intercepts for the game, but probably left a few out there, which he knows about. When we have those two guys firing and Miles Bergman playing well, it starts to shore us up a little bit more in the back half.
Now, come on, Goldie, no need to be humble. You won the battle to get Connor Rowey to half-back.
Yes,
hey?
How long have you been working on that plan?
It's probably been about almost 18 months now. Wow. And to be fair, I almost got him against, I think it was against Fremantle last year.
Wow.
At half-time, I think Faz went down. This is 2 rounds before the finals. I thought that would be a good time to try it, but I didn't get him over the line. I had him in my grasp at half-time of the Fremantle game, and then lost him. But now it worked. It worked for him, but more importantly, it worked for the team. 2 weeks ago, and then last week he was good again. And I'm not here to say he's going to be stuck as a halfback, but playing halfback every week. But it's nice to have that flexibility, to run even deeper now into our team.
Yeah. Well, I think the knock-on effect of it was the same time that Butters was back, if you like, and Connor goes back, and then Drew gets some real meaningful midfield minutes. When you load him up in there with his mix and his talent and working both ways, you look like a totally different midfield unit for me.
Yeah. I think we're a bit more balanced. With Drew in there and Ollie Wines hitting through, and we know that Hornet doesn't have to play 100% midfield time. He can go forward. He's dangerous there. Jackson Mead can play in the midfield. So we've got a lot of names that can go through there. And for us at half back, to have Connor there to use the ball and create drive. I think he got about 800 metres gained on the weekend, which is a great return for a half back.
Saw my cardiologist today. I hope Ollie saw his. Is he okay?
Yeah, he is. It took so he's had it before where his heart goes out of rhythm, and he has some medication that helps with it. So he's had to go back onto that, or not had to, but he is back onto that to make sure it's he's in a better spot going forward. And it took a little bit of time to get him back into rhythm after the game. Probably about 24 hours, but he said he's feeling good now and he's ready to go.
You mentioned, Connor, about getting 800 odd metres gained. The other thing I like about Connor at half-back is he can run down a small forward. He's got the speed and the agility to get onto him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. Which is really surprising as a midfielder, but he does have a defensive bone in his body, which is great. So he does defend quite well, and he gets the balance right. Because he reads the game so quickly and so well, he can give us stoppage shape and contest around the stoppage, but then, his work away has been elite the last 2 weeks. He's going to have times where it doesn't go so well, but he definitely has the turn of foot and he's agile enough to defend when he has to.
Kane Farrell plays his 100th game. Saw him come to the club. He was like a half forward. Then he sort of went up to the wing, but he's really settled in and played his best footy down back with you there. So a word on him, mate, going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I've got favourites in my back line, but yeah, he'd be up there if I did. He lives around the corner from me. We spend a lot of time together outside of football. But him as a player, I don't think we fully understand. Again, similar to Connor, but he reads the game really well. You know, he communicates well within his teammates, and he helps everyone else set up in the ideal positioning. So that's probably the stuff we don't see on the stat sheet, is that he actually helps his teammates be better, get into better positions. But yeah, I'd spend about half an hour watching an Instagram reel of him kicking goals throughout his career, and
that'd be good.
I could spend another 2 hours watching it. It's a glorious left foot, and yeah, when he gets onto them, they stay kicked, that's for sure. But it's a great achievement for him. He's played, started as a forward in the AFL and spent a bit of wing time, and I think he's at home now at halfback, and I'm very happy to have him.
He executes well, no doubt about that. Just a look into the future. I saw the Maggies play against South last Friday night. Josh Lai is really impressing me now. I noticed he was down back. He played wing in the trials and what's not. So is that another one you're trying to line up into your back six?
Not much gets past you, does it? I'm just trying. My main goal is just to get as many backline players as I can into the one AFL team. You know, I've got Darcy Byrne-Jones playing as a forward, as a defender. Yeah,
you're doing well.
Connor Rowey now as a defender. So no, he was going to be a wing for us, and we thought that would be his position. But we had Tommy and Anastasopoulos come back from injury. He needed to play on the wing, and we think Joshy Lai can play both wing and half back, and the more we get players that can play both roles or multiple roles, the better it will be. But he looked comfortable there. He's got a great turn of foot, very athletic, and yeah, he showed some nice signs. So hopefully he can go again at the Ponderosa on tomorrow.
Spot on. Hey, it's a very important round for us, Anzac round. We know that you'll do it proud, and the club always puts on a really good display and ceremony for it. So, hey, all the best. Let's get the 4 points.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Excellent. Tyson Goldsack, the defensive coach for Port Adelaide, just giving us an insight into the team.
Awesome stuff. Big game on the weekend. Thanks to Sharman Shelving, who have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road. We are taking your calls, 8223 000 before we get to the break. And Terry McAuliffe coming up shortly. The most courageous sportsman you've seen. Timmy G?
Oh, right, yeah.
We'll take some more calls.
Well,
you just resigned to going to the break. No, we got some calls.
Oh, excellent. Let's go to Tyrone. G'day, Tyrone.
Good evening, boys. How are we?
Excellent.
Now, under that banner, most courageous, and you can throw one of the most talented people in there, is a guy called Trevor Grimwood.
Yes,
who used to play for Westies under Foster.
That's right.
Yep. And they used to say this guy would actually literally run through brick walls for Foss.
Yes, and did. And won the 77 Magarey medal because of it. Yeah,
impressive.
And very talented as well. Oh, this one should have come up a bit earlier, I would say. Old Norlunga. G'day, Brian.
How you going?
All
Timmy
right,
and Rowe?
Good, buddy.
Hey, Rowe, this is one of your own from Norwood. Now, think of a player that is hard and goes in even when it's wet and muddy.
Well, number 14.
Gary McIntosh.
Yeah, I said him at the top. It was very easy for me to pick him. And,
he's up there, eh?
Oh, God,
absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Seen some amazing things.
I barracked for third. I used to hate it when it started to rain and it got muddy.
Oh, is that when he got out, when he was at his best? He was a mudlark, was he?
Oh, I reckon he was, but he was also good when it was dry.
Yeah. No, well done, Brian. Great nomination.
Good work, buddy.
Great nomination.
Let's go to Mawson Lakes. G'day, Steve.
Steve.
Yeah, g'day. I was just when Rowey mentioned earlier about different types of courage.
Yes.
And I wrote down that another type is the courage it takes to believe in yourself unconditionally, and to have that unconditional self-acceptance, and to be able to say that when you're talking about the outer result in sport, that at all times you've really got nothing to lose. And that's the new age mindset that they're all sort of copying at the moment. That the Phil Jackson let it go, let it flow approach.
Yeah, of course, the coach of the Bulls. Yeah, was a very good coach. Probably a bit ahead of his time too, wasn't he, Steve?
He was, and and since he's written that book, I think a lot of people are copying what he did. And I also was going to mention that the Crows did play on Anzac Day, on the actual day in Tasmania. That was Kilthorpe's first game.
There's two.
And in that game, they set the all-time record of the number of goals without points, and they were like really in the flow that game.
Yeah. I was at that game.
Well done, Steve. Good memory, mate.
I was at that game. Well done, Steve. Got anything for Steve?
You would have called it, wouldn't you?
Or the traffic man. No. I was there because James was playing.
Yes.
And we all went to the dawn service at Launceston. All the players were there, and they played later that day.
Excellent.
Was too. It was in Tassie.
Well done. Good call.
Kick
Great
5 for Ollie Thilthorpe.
Yeah, he did.
Wasn't a super 5.
He's definitely in the running for the $50 Powers voucher. There's no doubt about that.
Let's get to your traffic. We'll speak to more of your calls very shortly, and Terry McAuliffe as well. And teams are going to drop for Crows and Port Adelaide after this break as well.
Afternoon, got news of a truck and car smash at Clarence Park, the intersection of Cross Road and South Road. Really solid delays outbound through there at the moment. Another crash causing big delays. This one's at Marion Road near Quick Road, but it's far from that. Should be called Slow Road. Very slow delays through there at the moment. And in the city, Carvey traffic light West Terrace near Curry Street. Camera 2 tonight, Church Terrace at Walkerville. Dash into BWS for 4 days of deals. Grab a case of Hahn's Super Dry bottles for $49. Save $9. Hurry, end Sunday. T's and C's apply. Choose to drink wise. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Anzac Day football is here with a special weekend of commemoration and football. Catch all the action live on 5AA. Thanks to Barnacle Bill, serving South Australians quality seafood and much, much more for over 50 years.
Ignition for Men. Adelaide's home of impeccable class and style offer a range of suits by leading Italian brands, including tailor-made wedding packages for the groom and groomsmen. Order 3 tailor-made suits and pay just $799 for each. Order 4 or more for just $749 per suit. Phenomenal value for a quality tailor-made suit. See Ignition for Men for tailor-made wedding packages. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. ignitionformen.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Mario Maiolo Promotions and 5AA present Blowin' in the Wind. Honouring Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Bob Dylan with friends Johnny Cash, Joan Baez and the Travelling Wilburys. Come celebrate the legends who contributed to cultural change through inspired lyrics and songs of revolution with an amazing cast. The times they're a-changing, folks, so don't think twice because it's all right. Blowin' in the Wind, Her Majesty's Theatre, Friday 23rd of May. Book now at Ticketek.
Kenny Hunter, Timmy, shouldn't have taken that long for Ken Hunter's
Great nomination. Thank you, Maria.
Well done, Maria. That is a world record. Your 14th text.
Well played. Hey, Rowey, Cheapest Chips has helped you, me and the rest of South Australia live cheaper every day for 40 years. You know what that is? That's like 1985. That's amazing. God. Can you believe it? 40 years they've been doing it.
Yep. So everyone loves Cheapest Chips. I know we do. Huge range of products from the kitchen to the garden and everywhere in between. They always help. Well, they've always helped us, that's you and me and everyone, to do it cheaper.
And with cheap everyday products, hot buys and members-only deals, it's always been a great way to live cheaper.
Yes, but how's this? Right now, you'll get a huge 30% off all
30%?
luggage. Stop it.
Wow.
30% off all luggage and bags, whether you're a member or not. That's a whopping, I'll say it again, 30% off all luggage and bags available to everyone.
Get into there. Cheapest Chips super sale on now.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. I'm in the solar and battery industry. At BJ Energy, if you ask for a battery but it works out that you don't need one, we'll be fully transparent and advise against it. It's a very flooded market which has opened up the doors to, I guess, a lot of cheap sales companies and cowboys out there. We come in from the opposite angle to that. We'll design each system specific for that person as opposed to just having an off-the-shelf package. So get in touch with us at bjenergy.com.au. That's bjenergy.com.au.
Buy a car from Edwardstown Mazda and win the ultimate Bali holiday. Flights, accommodation and activities. Plus, get up to $8,000 in savings across the entire range. only at Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
Right Price, Adelaide's best in heating and cooling, has risen to new heights. Literally, Right Price are now your roofing people too. Same exceptional service, value and quality. From total roof replacement, including tiled roof installation, to tile roof repairs, cleaning and painting. And for peace of mind, a rock-solid quote. So the only surprise you'll get is how magnificent your roof and home looks. Do it right. Visit rightpriceroofing.com.au.
You can get your roof right at Right Price.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 6. We have the World Game with Stephen Moore coming up after 6 o'clock tonight. Teams have dropped for the Crows and Port Adelaide. Let's go through the Crows first, Rowey.
Johnny Fogarty, love him. Rochelle in. Well done. Peatling back from suspension in, and as we said at 4:15, Berry goes out, Fogarty goes out, and Fogarty's injured. That's going to be a big blow. Dan Curtin will step up into that role, and probably a toss-up between Sid Draper and Zach Taylor for the sub. They take on Fremantle. One change.
They have made 3 changes. Quinton Narkle's going to play his first game for the Dockers.
With a Q.
Yes.
Former Port and Geelong.
That's it. So first game for the Dockers.
Well done.
We see O'Meara go out and James Aish and Banfield. So there's 3 big outs for the Dockers. Timmy G for Port Adelaide.
Yes, the ins are Joe Richards, Jeremy Finlayson, Joe Berry. So that's 3 names. The outs are obviously Tom Cochrane, injured, Rory Atkins omitted, and Travis Boak has got injured. So not sure what he's managing there.
Managing a back issue is what the club is saying.
Okay, and so that makes the emergencies for the game Rory Atkins, Logan Evans and Hugh Jackson, who's been playing okay at sample level. Now, I've had a text earlier in the day, what's going on with Logan Evans? I just think he's fallen out of favour. Now, he got subbed in that game against the Saints, I think it was, and it was at half-time, and he had just the one touch in the first quarter, but he had 5 in the second, and he was subbed at half-time. So it was a bit of a surprise at that stage. Maybe they weren't happy with his form prior to that, but I know he'll fight his way back in. He does enough, and he played well the other night at Sanford level, and I think he'll work his way back into it. So
his best is very, very good.
Yeah, he's such a good decision maker. He'll definitely find his way back into that side.
It is a big weekend of racing as well, and if you're keen to get along, you might have heard us talking about it the last couple of nights. The Sportsbet Robert Sangster Stakes and the Australasian Oaks Day. It's Saturday at Morfettville. If you'd like to head along, we've got a double pass to give away. So call in now 8223 0055. If you've had enough of the footy, you can have a real ball at the track for the Sportsbet Adelaide Racing Carnival. Starts this week for a couple of weeks. Let's get to this man who knows all about it.
Timmy and Terry's tips.
G'day, Tezza.
How are you, boys?
Very good indeed. You'd be up and about. Your team's had a couple of wins.
Yeah, we've beaten West Coast and North. Wow.
That's it, mate.
That's a realist.
Yeah.
That's a realist.
I wanted to put him up there, and he's just slapped
he's
it
a realist.
down. Fair enough, too. Well, I tell you what you won't do is slap the big racing meeting we're having at
How good this
Morfettville.
weekend?
How good?
Yeah, no, we've got 3 big Group 1 racing days coming up, boys. So 2 Group 1s on Saturday. We've got the Oaks Race 7 and the Sangster Race 8. Derby the following week.
Yes.
And then into the Goodwood. So now 3 big Saturdays. Looking forward to it, guys.
All right, well, give us some tips in the both of those, to the Oaks and to the Robert Sangster Stakes, Race 8. So what do you got for us? I know what I like.
Yeah, Oaks-wise, I'm going to go with Race 7, so the Oaks is Race 7, number 2, Benegill. Really big run in Sydney last start, ran second behind Trues at the moment, who is arguably the best 3-year-old filly in the country. So Benegill comes to Adelaide on Saturday and looks really hard to beat. A bit of a tricky barrier, so Mark Zara is going to have to work it out from out there, but I think she's the testing material, so that's Race 7, number 2. And in the Sangster, I think Climbing Star can do it again, boys. I think it can go back-to-back for Young Lachlan, Nindorf and Phillip Stakes. So that's my tip in the Sangster, number 3, Climbing Star.
All right, fair enough too. Well, I like I think Race 8, the Robert Sangster, Asphora just showed me enough for me to go again. I'm going to have a crack at it again because I won on it in Adelaide a couple of weeks ago. And
she's a great mare. She's won 10 from 23. She won a Group 1 races. You know, she had Royal Ascot in the UK last year. And, I guess the little query for her, she's always maybe perhaps a bit vulnerable at 1,200 metres, Tim, and she's got a difficult barrier as well. But, yeah, look, she's a quality mare. There's no doubt about it.
And in the Oaks, I like Moving Out. Number 3.
Moving Out. Yeah, okay, for Chris Waller.
Now, I will have a little dollar each way because I back for Nom and, Rochelle Milnes is riding in the course. And it's her first Group 1 ride, is that right?
It is, and what about that? Her first Group 1 ride, and it's for none other than, Gay Waterhouse training these days with Adrian Bott. But what an incredible milestone for Rochelle, her first Group 1 ride, and she gets it for Gay Waterhouse.
How good's that? Oh, good luck to her on that one too. I like it. Anything around the card too? Because I don't mind Miss Aria in race 6, number 7.
Yeah, well, John's tipped that. He's actually just dropped me off. We've just come back from Melbourne where we've recorded Get On SA to go to Where Tonight. But that's what John's tipping in race 6, the Queen of the South. He's tipped number 7, Miss Aria. What did I tip in that? I tipped number 9. It's actually pronounced Zwatties, apparently. But anyway, I've tipped it. But I do think the one in between our two tips there, Tim, you're number 7, Miss Aria. I'm number 9. 8 Private Legacy's got a knockout chance. They're at a big price. It's about $26. And John agrees it's got a chance at big odds with Ben Nellam riding. And we both thought the best bet on the program was probably race 1, number 7, Regal Asmon.
Okay, race 1, number 7, special of the day. All right, I'm written that down, and I'm going to have that trifecta of number 7, 8, and 9 in race 6. There you go. Box it up. We're done, Terry.
Box it up in the Queen of the South. Good on you, boys. Good luck with the Power and the Crows on the weekend. I think the Power should win. I reckon the Crows will beat FIVEAA. What do you think, Rowey?
Yeah. Oh, I hope so, Tez. That lid's coming off.
10 goal, mate. 10 goal.
With no Fogarty, and they beat them there. Man. Done. Tune in Monday because it's going to be an explosion.
Good luck, Terry.
See you, boys.
See you, Tez.
Racing.com's Terry McAuliffe. Big day at Morphettville with the Robert Sangster Stakes and also the Australasian Oaks.
Good luck tomorrow, Timmy.
Thank you very much.
I'll be there at the RSL at Henley and Grange.
Thanks for your support.
And lest we forget.
Definitely. It's 1 minute to 6. The World Game with Stephen Moore coming up next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Hi, Daniel Talia here, General Manager of Home. That's HAUME. Put simply,